A new report from Realtor.com says that right now is the best time of the year to buy a home. That early October is the best time. But the reality is, with the overall picture, especially for a first-time home buyer, this time's brutal. And the marketplace recognizes that's how you're feeling, because home sales are declining right now. Prices, not yet, but home sales are declining. We've got these very high, not by historical standards, but of recent times, we have very, very high mortgage rates, with rates 7% plus or minus on a mortgage, and home prices way up from 4 years ago. And that is a absolute disastrous combination for people's wallets. Different for somebody who owns a home, owned it a long time. Let's say you own it free and clear, or mostly. Roughly a third of people own their homes free and clear, somewhere right in there. I mean, in that case, you sell a home, you're selling at inflated prices. You don't have to worry about mortgage rates likely, because what you're buying next is, I'm assuming, you might be able to pay cash for it. And so you're trading one for another, and the marketplace is not hurting you because you got an upside price on selling, a downside price on buying, but they wash. But what about somebody who owns nothing and you want to own that first home? The marketplace is absolutely not your friend. I was stunned recently. I don't remember where I saw it, but I read stats that people are actually looking at buying a home and moving to a completely different part of the country just because they want to own a home and they can't afford it where they are. The difficulty of that is you may get somewhere and you're like, yeah, the houses were cheaper, but I sure hate living here. And that's why even in that case, I want you to test drive a market, renting for a while to see exactly where you want to live and all that, because home prices aren't going anywhere now. Home prices are not going to escalate. Home prices are going to stall for a while. Some markets, they'll go down. Others, they'll go up a little bit. But the market is stalled out. We have all these people in homes with these ultra inexpensive interest rates on mortgages, and they're house locked. Because how do you go from being in a 2 or 3% mortgage to move somewhere else and have a 7% mortgage? The math does not work, because you give up something that's an incredible deal, maybe a once in a lifetime kind of deal, and then you go to at market rates, past brutal. So as hard as it is for me to say, if you are a first-time home buyer and you're tired of renting and you want to buy a place, rent for a while longer. Because over time, incomes will make housing more affordable as incomes rise over time. And if I'm right, and I believe I am, two factors here. One, home prices are going to stall or have stalled. Two, mortgage rates are not going back to 2 or 3%, but they will decline over time. When the Federal Reserve has clearly won the case against inflation, interest rates on mortgages will decline. The Federal Reserve does not control mortgage rates. They might control other rates that affect your wallet, but mortgage rates, the marketplace is pricing them based on inflation, and also the federal budget deficit is pushing rates up. If we can get our federal budget under control, who knows? But inflation we will get under control. That alone will cause rates over time to decline. So right now, even though today may be when you want to buy a home, there's a clear advantage in the marketplace to hold off, buyer strike, and sellers may find, if the people who have to sell, okay, I'm going to have to cut the price of this home. And mortgage rates eventually decline. That combination may make making that sacrifice to buy a home more manageable, more affordable for you. And something that we talked about before, roughly 20% of mortgages in the marketplace are somehow related to government-issued mortgages that are assumable at non-escalating rates. That is a potential opportunity in the marketplace for a buyer that would override what I've said about waiting. If you can find a home that has an assumable non-escalating loan and you can buy that home at the old rates, not the new mortgage rates.